boys and girls, grandmas and grandpas of all ages. Welcome. And welcome Jeff from Tarot Ask Backwards. How's your week going, Jeff?
Um, I kind of feel like it's going slowly right now. Like I kind of want to speed it up a little bit. It feels like the energy for me is a little bit, it's not depressing or anything. It just is annoying. Like I kind of feel like we're on the verge of something happening, but it won't happen. And nothing we're doing energy wise is going to change it, but yet we're in that mode where it's like that thing before that other thing happens. We're waiting for the other shoe to drop. So that's where I'm at with all of this energy right now. But yesterday I had a meditation about all this, and whatever we're being spoon fed right now, we kind of have to take it, play with it, and say we're going to take it, but not take it. Hi, Jochi. Because I kind of feel like it's more about our individual strength that's going to add up to more collectively than what it is that we think we can do against something to try to resist something or change history. So we just kind of have to flow with it. And we have to make sure that we're keeping ourselves grounded right now more than anything. So that's where I'm at, but that's the challenge is what I'm saying, because I'm just kind of feeling like I want to hurry things along, and I'm like, no, can't do that. So I had to meditate a couple times today to calm myself down. Kind of felt like in panic attack mode from all the caffeine too, like where it wouldn't have affected me before. I kind of had this sense at one point this morning before I started working of all the things I had to do this morning, and I'm like, like for the first time in a while, and I haven't had that since I was a kid, where like I just get overwhelmed with panic. It happened, but it not as directly as what I'm feeling on occasion now. So at least I know alcohol won't help me. It actually would make it worse. It's almost like you develop an allergy to alcohol as you get older if you stay away from it and you get off of it. I do anyway, because I notice certain things start to happen to me, because I start imagining things that are there and things that might not be there as far as what my health is. And it's better to just stay away from it. If you're off of it and you think of going back to it, what I do is I write down all the reasons I shouldn't, and that tells me not to.
Well, welcome Joji and Suki. Thanks for being with us. And remember to go like Jeff's channel.
Both channels.
Hit the little thumbs up buttons. So it's been weird weather here in Houston.
That's it.
We had cold. We had cold at the end of last week, and then yesterday we ventured out to go to a doctor's appointment, and it was like you couldn't take enough clothes off. It was just hot.
My God.
So, we're in that up and down. Hello, Judith. So, yeah, the cats are insistent on being outdoors most of the time, and they'll jump on Hershey's lap, but they won't jump on mine. They really don't understand my cart. That if they lay down in the middle of the floor, that I can't run directly over them with my cart. I have to go around them. And they get annoyed at me avoiding them. But nothing too major going on. Are you going to see Wicked in the theaters?
No, I'm always too afraid of an attack. I'm too afraid of like someone shooting me in the head in the theater.
Yeah.
I've been afraid of that for years. Yeah. Or a terrorist.
Well, at least they won't be able to drop a house on you. And if anybody's got a question for us to take a deep dive with a Celtic Cross read on, we would be glad to have the question.
But even still, like right now, what was I going to say? The size of those drones in the air, I think some of them are the size of SUVs, Thomas. You're talking about houses dropping on heads. Some of those drones are the size of SUVs, but you can't really know from, I guess, where we're looking, the vantage point of how big they are. But yeah, I think they're looking for radiation that may have been dropped here by either North Korea or one of our enemies, because they know after Assad or after Bashar, now it's a tie to Putin. So now Putin's in a corner and Putin's reign is about to be dismantled. Hi, Fatima. So I kind of feel like those countries over there are looking now to see, once Trump gets elected, do we end up in total World War III, or do we just languish in what we're languishing in now? Because the only way to get out of this is to probably get Putin, is what I think a lot of people are doing the algebra and coming to the conclusion of. So, hi,
well,
Greg.
it's definitely not. It's not quadcopters type drones like you'd get from Sharper Image or, you know, Sky Mall or whatever. They're definitely government grade.
Hi, Hershey. Hi, Fatima. Hi, Odelia.
Welcome, everyone. So, let's see. Yesterday, it was announced that presidential immunity could not be used in the hush money settlement for 45 at the time.
Because that was that done before he was president? Is that why?
It was done before he was president. Yeah.
He did try to get it thrown out, though, and he's been pretty successful lately after what he's been going after, as far as ABC went. And, you know, so it looks as if things are falling into place for him for now.
Well, I'm still seeing a lot of things that, like different readers are saying that they still don't see him taking the oath of office inauguration day.
I don't know how they're not seeing it, but I mean, I've gotten the energy too that the election was stolen, but I've never not seen him not taking the oath. I don't know. I know they're getting it in like Lenormand readings, but I don't know how. It's kind of like asking a question about something that's not going to happen. It's kind of like they've all got the preconceived notion in the head that it's not. So how do you disprove something that you feel?
Well, they're still back on. A lot of people are still back on election night where they didn't even see a chance of him winning.
I know, and that's not doing anybody any favors right now. Only because at some point it's like the thing I got in meditation about medicine and coddling and a pacifier. Some of these, it's one thing to be guardedly optimistic. It's another thing to be not delusional, but blindly hopeful. I don't know. I just think something would have been done by now. And I just don't see it happening. I don't see it. I got that in meditation yesterday
Sure.
when I channeled. I didn't see it.
Short-circuited thought processes,
Yeah.
um, flawed flawed reasoning.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want it to, it can't be true because we don't want it to be true.
Right.
It's sort of like, uh, if I can't see you, you can't see me.
Mm-hmm.
Where the cat's butt is sticking out from underneath the bed.
Or if we project onto a situation what we want to happen, even if we're not manifesting it either way, if enough of us do it and enough of us believe it, it can come true. Kind of like the way like a lot of evangelicals might think they can bring about the apocalypse by thinking that Donald Trump is the Antichrist and he's going to accelerate it, and then they're going to get sucked into heaven. It's kind of the same idea, except it's at the other end of the spectrum. I mean, it's actually not at the other end of the spectrum. It's the same premise, and I just feel like we may not have gone ahead and said that the election had been stolen from us, but we have said that, but we're not. We're trying to manifest a certain outcome by all of these things that we're doing on here, and it's kind of, well, I'm going to say it. It's kind of pathetic because
we can't wake up and tomorrow morning it's November 5th again, and
yeah.
we got a chance to do it all over. They've already flipped the switch or uploaded into the Elon Starlink net the results of the tabulations of electronic voting machines, and the switch was made. And possible, but highly unlikely.
Probable, yeah. I just don't. I don't know. I feel also too. There is some discussion about timelines having been shifted. I kind of feel like this was supposed to happen, whether it was supposed to happen through Trump, or I think it's more about the agenda and the toppling of a world order than I think it's about Donald Trump. So I think a lot of people need to wake up and smell the roses that not only is it not going to happen, but it's not a smack in the face to say it's not, because it's just meant to. And if you can rise above the energy, you're a lot better. And if you can personally transcend the energy, all of us will be a lot better, regardless of who's in office. Because I honestly think we would have been middling for the next 4 years too, until, it was just bound to happen. So maybe the timeline got accelerated, but either way.
Well, it just seems that the Democrats weren't. The Democrats always dilute the pool so much by having so many people vying for the position, and then it was like really at a late hour that Biden decided not to seek re-election and give his backing to Kamala. And then they didn't have any published and outlined platform to stump on. It's like, let's let's not go for this block of voters because women's rights have been trampled, and they're going to vote for us because we didn't do that. And any other marginalized groups, they thought they had it sewn up. And exit polling showed that absolutely they did not have anything sewed up. They just found a way to disenfranchise them by not touching base with the voter base.
And Biden's invisibility for so long aroused suspicion, and then when it was confirmed to be true in that debate, I think it kind of sealed the fate of whomever it was, of whoever the nominee was going to be at that point. That's what I think.
So does anyone have a question for us to read on? Can be personal, can be political. Jeff and I already talked about the New Jersey lights all up and down the East Coast, and now they're being seen more and more. Is this a jump on the mass hysteria bandwagon, or is the government actually
they know
releasing to us that it has a drone?
They're doing this, I believe. And what they're looking for, I think, is nuclear radiation or some type of contaminants. And I think we got one right here from Tapestry. I can't check it off. What the hell is Elon hiding regarding discoveries? That's a good one. That's a really good question.
Well, I would say that all those rocks and meteors and comets definitely have some potential to be mined, and Elon is definitely looking for lithium resources for all his electric vehicles. But who's to say that they won't find a mostly gold or mostly platinum space rock hurling out there that they could possibly harness and mine and take the resources. If I have what Earth is supposed to be, maybe Earth was designed to be a slave encampment to take the Earth of its rare metals, but whatever treaties have been made, that we're not a slave race anymore, and we're not beholden to this group or that group, or we're sort of off targets. They let us go as long as they could, and then they found out we're endangering ourselves, so they just are washing their hands of us and leaving us alone.
Fatima has one too.
So, what's his party? Is it a Labor Party? Is that Trudeau's party? Well, if I start out my reading, in the center of it is the World card. So, no longer is politics just in the locals' eyes. And the challenge of it is justice. Is it justice for only the participants? Is it justice for only the rich? Is it justice uh, the way it's designed and engineered for the common everyday person to have justice, but not reap any of the rewards, just pay into the system. At the root of things, we have the Five of Swords reversed. So they want it to appear that the game is being played on the up and up and level, but behind the scenes, it's definitely not. The
I got
the
that too.
The best ultimate outcome is the Ace of Pentacles. Um, yeah, let's rob the coffers and take the spoils, and the trail will be cold by the time they figure out that they've robbed um, Social Security, Medicare, things like that. Um, Recent past, we have the Five of Cups, um, losses, a whole bunch of little sustained losses get to be bigger and bigger losses. But in the near future, we have the Three of Pentacles. So they want to appear to be buddy buddy, and you know the old boys club slap each other on the shoulders and give each other high fives and shoulder chucks and say we've done it. They want that celebration there. How they see themselves in the situation, Six of Cups, they see nostalgia. So they are in the mode of if we keep it looking the same as it's always been, we'll convince everyone that we've made America great and kept it great, um, and not that it's lost anything. How others see us, we have the star reversed. So others see us as losing hope in the condition. Hopes and fears are we're going to turn into the hermit. We're going to have to go into ourselves and look at things and come to our own intuition. And then only once we're comfortable with looking at the ugliness in ourselves can we go back out into society. And then the outcome, the eventual outcome is the Two of Wands. So they're rewriting the playbook for a new, more stupid or uninformed um, voter, and that's what came out in the Celtic Cross read for Trudeau resigning. So I don't think Trudeau's going to resign, but I think he's going to help revise the political system there in Canada.
I read on the question someone had about Elon and what's he hiding up there. What I'm getting is that the first thing I heard was there's no life to be had up there. And I'm almost hearing that the investments in the that people have made in this stuff, whether it's Jeff Bezos with his stuff and what Elon's doing with his stuff, is actually not going to be sound, and or there's some telepathic communication that Elon does have with some entity up there that wants him to stay away, because the energy that he's sitting in, yeah, okay, it's the 9 of Cups, right? Upright. And that's obviously the wealthy merchant who's profiting from people's desire to explore space someday, maybe in the next 20 years. But the problem is he got below it, the 8 of Cups reversed. So to me, that's, like Jupiter in Pisces. It's telling me that just as he's about to do something and go forward with it, he's going to take a step back, because certain partnerships or collaborations or entities that he's met up there have either threatened him. This sounds really strange. Or there's like a big vacuum up there and they don't want him in it. Then he got the 5 of Swords reversed as the thing that he's sitting in right now. He's kind of neutralized the threats from everybody else. It's not compromise to him. It's more about neutralizations. It's more about having made deals down here and doing the things that he's needing to do politically so that he actually can protect his reserves, is what I'm hearing up there. And I just got to chill on that. I don't know if they made some sort of short-term arrangement, he and those entities that he's aware of up there that don't want us there. And I don't know if he's like emissary for the entire human race, but I'm hearing that he feels that way. And that's another reason why he's so delusional. 9 of Cups, complacency. Yeah. Then I got the 10 of Pentacles reversed. This is just in the past. So I feel like that's all the money that's being invested. And all the contracts, that's generations of people who probably know the same things that it took Elon maybe not as long to learn. And they're not even guardedly optimistic. They're very much worried. The card of the energy that he's attracting, Wheel of Fortune. I don't know if necessarily, I think it'll get off the ground. I think people will go up there, but what they're going to find is the external. This is the external card about the external forces. When they get up there, there's nothing really there to speak of. I don't know if there was once intelligent life or some type of life that is not going to be helpful in trying to sustain our lives, but I feel like it's a dead end, is what they're telling me. Temperance, he got Temperance reversed because more than anything right now, there's too much riding on this because he's put it into those terms. A lot of the contracts and the things that are going to be put forth that the government knows about, they're going to keep going forward, but they're not going to be for greater advancement. You've heard about people that have had the Neuralink chips put in and have had, certain mind conflagration or certain things not working. And then he got Strength reversed as his hope and fear. So I think more than anything, when he got at the end, the Chariot reverse, that is a card ruled by Cancer. He is Cancer. I feel like his goose will be cooked because when people actually do go up there, either those entities that he's talking to, because that is travel, the Chariot, those entities that he's talking to are going to be deceptive, or if they're not already deceptive, there's something that he's deceiving us about that we are pinning our hopes on and our money that will not bear any fruit. I think he's lying about the viability of not space travel, but inhabiting um, life sustaining and inhabiting a planet out there or something. There's something that he and the government know about either the life forces or the dangers that might imperil us, or something that might imperil us. I don't know. And it's like a telepathic thing. He's communicating almost as if these beings are all around him all the time, is what I'm hearing.
So, do you think Elon's Asperger's and his social awkwardness lend maybe an ability to hear or have audience with outer earthly experiences?
I think it would make sense that I just got a chill too again on it. I would say yes, but let me look at the cards on it. Hi, Janet.
Thank you for the question, Gray. Hi, Janet Lee. Thanks for being with us. John. Miss Moonlight's in with us tonight. Adelia's been here for a while. Care Bear.
I'm still getting that they're tricking him, but I'm getting a yes. But I'll read it all.
So do you think that the otherworldlies are using Elon as a diversionary pond?
I'm hearing a conduit to talk to us. They're funneling him with information to lure us there, but I don't know if it's all a ruse or something else, and I'll tell you why. The first card I got was the Fool, and I don't necessarily mean that Elon is the Fool. It's the energy he's currently sitting in. It's the signifier. So to me, it means that he has the ability to channel these messages freely based on how he perceives them. But what I think is happening is they're duping him to some degree. He can do those things. That's like a yes to me. He can do those things that you're asking me, but where the Asperger's, as the auspice, Asperger's, allows it or lends the ambience or the quality that resonates for it to happen. But the problem is he's such an egomaniac. When I get temperance reversed, like no discretion. They know that what they feed him, he will misinterpret, or he will feel, because his ego is so strong, that he's sitting in the energy of the Hierophant, right? So he's like the emissary still. But the problem is they've already programmed him and they've screwed with him. I got the Three of Swords. So Saturn in Libra, I want to say, they've screwed with his mind, either for evil purposes to get at us. The ones he's talking to, I'm not saying he's talking for all of them, or he's talking for dead spirits that are up there that are communicating to him. And I feel like they're malefic in what they're trying to do. And then I got the Six of Swords. So that's on top of it all. He keeps going back for more. He keeps going back because they keep stroking his ego. So even when they're around here, they're still playing in his ear. And they're actually, if Elon continues to have a role, they're going to have a role in the administration too, by virtue of being around Trump, because they're around him. This is kind of strange what I'm hearing, but then Seven of Swords. I'm hearing that they've already got possession of his mind. So yes, he was sort of like a portal, but they needed a portal so that they can get to us to relay what it is they're trying to show us. And when I'm hearing dead aliens, or I'm hearing dead, they could be trying to tell us something from their future about their own destruction that could be positive. But I don't think Elon is going to what is it? Discern the message properly because of the ego to try to get money to get people up there and all these defense contracts and all these things. If they lead back somehow, and I don't see how they could, because there's probably no way, from an investigative point of view to see that, that we could ever look into that and prove that. Eight of Swords. Okay, so it's not seeing, it's the energy that he's attracting. He's not seeing the trap that he's fallen into. And he can easily free himself of it. He's still human. He can do it. But he's fallible, like every human. But the problem is he doesn't see himself that way because he'd rather see himself impenetrable, is what I'm hearing, right? Which is fallacious. And then the external forces, what's coming around him. Nine of Swords. They're in his mind to the point where they have a narrative for him, is what I'm hearing, and that narrative supports everything his ego wants. So that's why he's up at night. You heard these stories about him working very long hours and making all the people around him work long hours. It's not just workaholism. It's like an obsession based on thought, based on ideas that they've been programming him with. His hope and fear. 10 of Swords, I get. I don't see him. He's afraid that he's afraid of what I'm hearing is he's going to speak to these thoughts unwittingly or almost through like tongues, speaking in tongues. And they're going to speak through him, and it's going to be televised. And it's going to be the end of it. And then I get the Two of Cups. And then this card in particular can have to do with health in some cases. But I'm hearing the health of humanity is going to be preserved because either they are going to help him. They want to help us to get away from him. They see and sense from the future what kind of energy would be coming if more people became like him, if the telepathy and the powers got into the wrong hands. So the outcome is fine. But the answer to the question is yes. He's a conduit, I think, for all of this. And he will continue to be a conduit. And there are people that feel down on Earth on a terrestrial plane. He's a conduit for multiple nations. Like when Starlink in the Ukraine didn't have internet, Putin didn't want it, and then he turns around and 5 minutes later, then they have it, then they don't have it in Ukraine, and they think Putin's behind him. So let's just say that he is very good at making friends, but making the wrong types of friends. So I wouldn't be surprised if some of these forces up there call him out on it and don't want him around. Whether they're good or not remains to be seen. But that's what I see.
So he's atypical of many Asperger's with the Asperger's in that he has an ego, where usually Asperger's don't have an ego. They just have drive or ability. But somehow they've allowed him to be so high functioning
Yeah.
that he's become a meme of himself.
Yeah, and I feel like
And
with that, I was going to say, is Asperger's, some people think Asperger's is a mild form of autism. Is that true, Tom?
it is part of the autism spectrum, but like Rain Man was supposedly a depiction of somebody with Asperger's, who was very brilliant with numbers, very quick. So when he dropped the toothpicks, he was able to count how many toothpicks were on the floor. Uh, just in a mental flash. And then his brother tries to use him for personal gain by going to Vegas, and he's like, "Is there 10 in there? Oh, there's lots more tens. Many more tens." It's uh, so the person doing the card counting wasn't sitting and betting. So I guess that's okay if you've got a card counter off to your side.
Joji said something interesting. It's considered high functioning. We had a therapist that worked with the actual Rain Man. That's awesome.
So the actual Rain Man could tell you the weather on any day. He could calculate the day of the week, tell you what the weather was. He had some musical ability, but he was totally dependent on his father for getting through the functioning of daily life, because he just didn't have any social mechanisms or self-care drives in him. If that's the person I'm thinking of, that they modeled Rain Man after.
Oh, thank you, Tapestry. I appreciate that.
Okay, let's see. Care Bear wants to know what happened to the U.S. reporter Austin Tice in Syria. Will he be found alive?
Yeah, I just heard beheaded.
Yeah. In Syria, Islamic countries, they do that eye for eye,
Is that
tooth for
Sharia
tooth.
law? Or
Yeah.
Let's see. Are you taking this one, or do you want me to take this one? Do you want us both to read on it?
I guess I can take it. Let's see. How can we?
Okay.
Will Austin Tice be found alive in Syria? No, but if he's brought home, I'm sure 47 will claim anything and everything to do with that outcome. It seems that foreigners don't want to deal with a Republican government. So that's why the hostages were released during Carter's or Reagan's inauguration day. Okay, at the heart of the matter, while we're asking this question, Six of Wands, we want our liberties, saying U.S. liberties, to be extended to us wherever we are in the world, and that is you know, I don't have to go by your rules under your roof. You know, no, as long as you're living under your parents' roof, you have to abide by their rules. Um, the the King of Cups reversed is our cross card, so that's the challenge. So to keep everything in check emotionally, um, it's just too highly emotionally charged for us to deal with um, systems that we're not used to. What's at the foundation, the Eight of Cups, it seems to be that we've walked away from the foundations and principles of why we have the laws in our society that we have. The highest possible outcome. Um, says the Nine of Wands is the self imprisonment. I don't. Um, you know, they're tied up, um, and it's a sense of duty. Like we have this standard of freedom of the press, and as long as it's accurately depicted and reported, that this should stand on its own. Where um, really we've got a whole bunch of um, coffee creamer being poured into the coffee, and then you have to add the sugar into it, and it no longer resembles coffee. It resembles a Frappuccino Starbucks, you know, and then it costs dearly. What's behind it is judgment reversed. The past history judgment reversed, seeing that many government systems are supposedly apart from religious philosophies. The religious philosophies are baked into them intrinsically. No way of getting out of those systems. What's ahead of us in the next 6 months? The King of Wands. So I don't know if that's Syria's president, prime minister, head of state, um, negotiating with Trump, uh, or maybe a last minute negotiation with Biden will be made to at least bring a body home.
It doesn't look good from what I
How yeah um, how he sees how the situation is being seen is we've got the Seven of Cups. We've got a lot of emotions. We've got a lot of choices. Um, you know, but once verdict has been handed out or meted out, you can't reverse that. Um, how others see him in the situation, we have the Three of Wands reversed. So it's uh, they set out on the journey on reporting the political system in another country, and they were lost. The hopes and fears are the Fools, Fool upright, which, you know, as an American citizen, thinking that you have rights anywhere else in the world, you know, we barely have those rights guaranteed to us here. We have human rights violations all the time here in our own backyard. So when we go afield out into the world, um, we cannot expect to be held in the same way. And the ultimate outcome is the Six of Pentacles, charity. I don't think.
I think they're going to
I think that dangle a carrot.
Yeah, but they're going to hold on to it. And one of the things is going to be ransom. And we're going to end up giving money to them with the promise that he's going to come out. And I don't think he's going to come out. I think this is going to be like what Trump had been calling, we were paying for, remember when Biden paid like $1 million or something? This is going to be one of those debacles that's really, and it may have been that we already tried, and it might have been, I don't know, because I got Biden in the past energy. I don't see him. I feel like they're dangling carrot. They're going to dangle him as a, they might show him on TV, but I don't think they're going to let him go alive. If he's not already dead, because the current energy I got was death reversed, which meant it could have already happened. That was the first card I got. Thank you, Joji. Crystal Freeham.
And it's not a crime to be odd.
I found it. It's at 722, Thomas. I don't know who these people, well, I know who Trudeau is, but I don't know who Krista Friedland is. Is that how you say it, Krista or Christia?
Christia Freeland either run or have an open hat to take over from. So apparently from the opposing party.
I'll take it. I don't know who this person is, so it'll be cold. Tapestry, do you know Christia Freeland? Ray's question was, okay, all right. Yes, there is some energy around her. There's an opportunity coming in. But I feel like she's, and I don't know enough about her, I feel like she's got some sort of secrets. The challenge to her is the moon reversed. I don't know if she has some kind of lurid past, or I'm hearing drugs for some reason. That's her challenge card. So I have to read it in the reverse. The energy that she's sitting in right now, I don't know if she's in the race or not yet, but she's weighing options about something. Something seems to be to her. She's afraid of something. I don't know what she's afraid of, you guys. I don't know if she's ever in the past been threatened, or if she's waiting it out to see something about Parliament and Canadian Parliament, something that she's waiting to find out about what they're going to do about something. In the past, Two of Cups reversed. Some alliance with some politician, either sexual or both sexual and political, is
Night, Suki.
is diminishing her
reputation or did hurt her in the past and she doesn't want to get burned again. I don't know if she hates men as a result of it. I'm kind of hearing she might have gone butch. I don't know why that came to me. King of Wands upright.
Are you telling me
There's-
my story veiled is
King of Wands upright. There is a there's some man that's on top of this. This is the energy they're sitting in, but the one that's on top of them right now. There's some man that wants to help her. I don't know who that would be. The near future, so like the next 6 months, or 5 of Cups reversed. She has a big ego, I'm hearing, or she's not mournful or regretful about anything she's done. I don't know if that means that she made some missteps in the past, or if someone sees her as a lone wolf who goes her own way and has no regard for things. She's considered, maybe because it's, if she's female, it's over ambition in the, you know, and like they have some issue up there in Canada with her. And I don't know if it's the more extreme right wing that has an issue with her because of something that she stands for. That's what I'm hearing. The 6 of Pentacles reversed is what is coming, what she's attracting. I don't know if she ever took a bribe or took a position for money that people didn't agree with, or took lobbyist money, or stood for a cause that was controversial. The external influences in her future. There's something that she doesn't want to be attached to anymore that could hurt her, because this is about walking away and taking responsibility. She doesn't want to admit that in the press, there's some stuff being written about her, I'm hearing, that has something to do with something she might have done politically, or something in her past again that is dogging her, but she's almost too proud to admit it. 4 of Cups upright. That's the hope and fear. Her supporters fear that she might be a little bit too, what's the word I'm looking for? Stoic or hawkish, apathetic, but apathetic to the plight of others, or hawkish. I don't know. And then she gets this card reversed for her outcome, Temperance reversed. But it's upright like that, and then like that. So I don't know if she is running a campaign that might have to be a little bit dirty in order to win. So if the question is if she wins or not, I can't get that from these cards. To me, I would say no. Krista Freeland, is she clean? Okay. Does she have? Can you tell me anything about her, Gray? Like, why is she such a really great figure? Like, why do so many people love her, Gray? Fatima, do you like Christia Freeland? Is Tapestry here? Oh, I've never heard of the woman. I don't know who she is. I've never heard of her.
So if Thomas ever got into politics, a lot of people would think that they'd stand to gain money with blackmailing, but it's all happened. It's all been in my past. Right now, it might just still be a fantasy that's there to do those things with those types of people in that type of environment again. But I'm to the age where I don't give a shit anymore. And I'm not rich, so they can't blackmail me for money. They're going to blackmail me for sex. You really don't have to tempt somebody who's willing.
Go down with Trudeau. What do you mean by that? Let's see. Would she go down with Trudeau or on Trudeau?
Don't read my mind, Jeff. They don't need to know my mind.
Let's see. Go down. Oh, she's going to go down in flames with Trudeau. I think she can extricate herself from something. I mean, I got the 8 of Swords reversed. I mean, I guess if you feel like you can't, but I'm reading this as I still feel like she knows something about either people that are sex trafficking or something that might be happening where something illicit in that administration is tied to her. Gray. I feel like she knows something that she can't talk about. Wheel of Fortune reversed. I have to read it as a double reversal because it already is reversed. So that would make it a negative. A negative makes it positive. No, I can't read it that way. I just feel like she's tied to something that hasn't come out yet through Trudeau. The Magician reversed. That's the energy she's sitting in. I don't see it. I'm just going to draw the 3 and put it to bed because I don't see it. I don't think she can do it. The point's missed, Gray, because I don't know who this woman is, buddy. I don't know who it is. Right. So, Fatima, why do you think she resigned? Remember now, Gray, these are very apocalyptic times, and I know you overuse that word, but things are shifting up, on top of their heads. I mean, we have drones running around this country right now. We don't know where they're coming from. No one's telling us anything. Don't be surprised if something were to come out. It wouldn't be earth-shattering. It might not be earth-shattering, but there's something there that she's trying to distance herself from. I think that's kind of fair. I mean, I don't know who this is from Adam, but I'm trying.
So if you will do us the favor and when this live goes down, post in the comments questions that you would like us to read on for next week. And sometimes I like to read cold. Sometimes I like to have a bit of background in there, and we'll choose who reads what questions and whether they want to research it or do a cold reading. thank you, Jeff, for being with me tonight
You're
and doing
welcome.
the Celtic Cross readings.
You're welcome. Did
And
anyone else have anything?
and thank you to all our viewers. They're mostly
you,
on
guys.
Jeff's channel. I had a couple on mine. However you come to us, we're grateful. Go ahead and check the description box if you want to check out any of Jeff's books on Amazon and how to book readings or donate to wish lists. And it doesn't have to be much. It can just be like $5 on a gift card to Amazon, and then once enough $5 comes on there, Jeff can get a deck or two, or get some corn girls or whatever's hot chocolates. I
Some coffee, some donuts, some ramens. I like ramens.
are you the Nissan in the styrofoam bowl, or are you the
Yeah, I like the styrofoam bowl more. I like the styrofoam bowl more.
When and I used to love the McDLT, and they got rid of it because of the styrofoam. It wasn't a clamshell. It was in the two sides. The cheese and the burger were on the hot side, and the lettuce and tomato were on the cold side. So
I remember those. I miss those. I miss those.
But apparently my junk food habit was killing the planet. I just like to think that I was building a bigger dock out into the ocean. I was allowing microplastics millions of times over to invade the water sources. So thank you, Jeff.
You're welcome.
Stay on with me after we say goodbye to these fine people. And we'll be back next Tuesday to do more Celtic Cross readings for you. And if you would, post your questions in the comments after this live. Remember, be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and go out and make it a great night.
Bye. Sorry to any Christy Al Freeman fans I offended.